Good morning. Happy Tuesday, March 10th. I love saying March 10th. Why? Because it's springtime and winter's finally over. Oh my gosh, I don't have to wear sweatpants. I don't have to wear a jacket when I walk in the morning. It's just fantastic to be 70 degrees and nice, right? Okay, we're going to jump into our meeting today. I said something yesterday that some people apparently didn't like, but I talked about the reality of real estate. And the reality of real estate is you either wait for business to come, you buy business, either you pay money for leads or you pay referral fee for leads, or you earn it. And we talked about the powerful part of earning it and how much expertise it takes to really get a good job done. And there's no way that any one person can be that good at that many things. That make sense? All right. Do you guys realize you're the master of everything? You're the quarterback for the whole team that coordinates all these experiences, right? But who do we have on our team? This is an intro for Megan.
Good morning. I love that because we do. We all have to wear so many different hats on things that we really did not sign up for, but that's what we love to do. But I also wanted to remind everybody about.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to, yesterday I notified.
I just wanted to remind everybody about.
We have a lag. You go first. I'll wrap up.
Okay. I just want to remind everybody about our FinCEN class on Thursday. It is super, super important. We're getting a little pushback from some outside agents, but please know that it is not us that is being sticklers on this. This is a federal thing that is happening, and it is required to close. There are no exceptions. So if the seller doesn't want to extend, or there's something like that, if we don't have all the information, we cannot close. There's absolutely no exception. So join on Thursday. If you've done trainings already, please join anyway. Bring your questions. I'm really excited for it. We'll have Misty on the call with us too. So if we've got any questions that I may not be able to answer, we've got Misty, who's our regional, to be able to assist us as well. But yeah, I'm very excited for that and to help you guys learn more about FinCEN and how to be ready for it.
Perfect. So what I was going to say was yesterday, I got my first notification from NAR that the FinCEN rules have changed. How long have we been talking about the FinCEN rules changing? At least a month, right? We knew it was coming. We knew it came. We knew it's here. We've done so many trainings on it. NAR sent out its first announcement. So that's part of what I'm talking about, right? How are you supposed to know all of these things? It's impossible. You got to have a good team. And I just want to say thank you guys for supporting Paramount Title. We are crushing it as Paramount Title. And we're pretty much a captive business. We don't get business from elsewhere. We get it from you guys. And I think we're doing a good job supporting you, and you're doing a great job supporting us. So I want to say thank you for that. Next slide.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys very much. And I'm happy that I have the agents that lean on us. I have agents who sellers are choosing a title company and they have a FinCEN and they're like, oh my gosh, this is a mess. So I appreciate that. And just come to me with any questions. If you guys don't get to choose us, but you still have questions on the closing, commitments, lien searches, just send us an email. We're happy to help, even if we're not handling it.
Perfect.
All right. Well, you guys have a good week. I'll see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday. Okay. Enlighten us, Mr. Reed. This is fun.
This one made me laugh. It's like you'll watch an entire Netflix series even when the first episodes are slow just because someone told you it gets better. What if you applied this principle to your goals? Sometimes you have to do a lot of boring things until the boring things become exciting. Sometimes they start off really slow, but it always gets better. What if you applied that same principle to your goals and you showed up and you started taking the time, putting in the effort, even though it's boring, even though it's not fun, even though it's slow to get the results? What if you kept pushing and kept putting in the time because you keep telling yourself, I know it gets better? And that's the focus. Focus on the outcome, focus on the end, focus on the emotions, focus on the things that you are creating rather than the actions you have to put in place all the time. Those are the reasons why we're doing it. Like I always say, we don't want 100,000 pieces of paper. We want the feeling 100,000 pieces of paper the money is going to give us. That's what the outcome is. And it may start slow and it may be boring, but how exciting is it going to be when you get that outcome, when you end up there? Life will not get better by chance. It only gets better by change. So if you want something different, do something different. If you want more, do more. You're going to have to show up as that person who already has those things rather than continuing to show up as the person you've always shown up as.
And where's the best way to get started with that? How many people have done their Beggins University goal planning system? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The rest of you really need to play a game, right? What's the first part of the goal setting process? Your why, right? And it should be juicy. And I'll use Mike Pumas as an example. He wants his children to talk about him when he's gone, about what an amazing father he was and all the experiences he's able to provide his kids. That's the emotional part of why we want the money. The money doesn't just buy a new car or refinance your debt, right? It's the feeling of accomplishing not having any debt. It's the feeling of driving in a nice car. Those are what you want, are their feelings, but you got to narrow down the why first. And then you plug in the rest of the stuff. What does it take, Chris? 20, 30 minutes? It's done?
Yeah,
Jimmy's probably going to talk about
doesn't
that.
take much.
It's not much at all, but you got to start the game. So we did a call on Friday with a bunch of BE3 people. And at the end, we asked them to send a reaction up. And we had a whole bunch of people said they're going to do it. And we don't see your business plan, just so you know. So you could be as honest as you want to be, and we won't see it unless you share it with us. So we're not spying on you or anything. So there's no reason not to do it, but play the game. Okay. So when I was talking about earlier, you can't do it all yourself. You have to have a team. And we thank Paramount Title for being part of our team. I wanted to ask Carol to join us today. Took a mortgage minute once a month to give us some ideas. Does your mortgage broker have to be a part of your team? Critical part of the team, right? Are there good mortgage brokers and are there bad mortgage brokers? Right? And I'm not putting banks down for anything, right? We have a big thing going on right now with Compass and Redfin and Rocket Mortgage, right? They're going to try to put us in a box and get us to do off-market listings, put them on Redfin only instead of Zillow and MLS and Realtor.com and all that shit, and use Rocket Mortgage, and they're promising to give us discounts. I don't want you guys falling prey to those practices. There's nothing wrong with Rocket Mortgage. They're a good company. They do what they do. But it's, I don't want to say deceptive practices, but there's no magic to mortgages, right? You've got to do the diligence. You've got to have the intelligence. You've got to have the credit score. You can't say what's the rate, right? You got to talk about different things. So you need somebody on your team, on your mortgage team, that knows what they're doing. So I asked Carol to give us some ideas. Carol's a loan officer. I don't know if you guys know this, but about 25 years ago, we started a company called United Mortgage Affiliates, and it worked for us for 25 years. And Carol was our first loan officer. And that company disbanded probably 15 years ago. And Carol's been out on her own for a long time. But anyway, she's a great loan officer. She's in my personal loan. So I wanted her to give us some ideas of what a good loan officer does, so you know when you're interviewing what to look for. That being said.
Yeah, let me fix this. Hi, Craig. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for asking me to be here. I'm very excited. And just like Craig said, just like Megan also pointed out, you do need a team. I need a team behind me. You need a team with loan officers, with title companies, with insurance companies. And when you build that team, it is so important to know that on the mortgage side, that person, whether it's me, whether it's another loan officer, that they're spending the time with your client. It's not just about rate. It's not just about a simple pre-qual. It is structuring your contract, what the client wants and needs for payment, for for down payment, for their ultimate payment. And Craig and I were talking the other day, and something as simple as taking the time, and a lot of loan officers either don't know how to do this or don't do it, is taking the time that when you put a payment together for the client, whether it's on a debt to income ratio pre-approval aspect or where their comfort zone is on a payment, is knowing the market. I've been in this market, Tampa, Pinellas County, Manatee County, for 25 years. And knowing this market, knowing the CDDs, knowing the HOAs, and taking the time to ask the client, where do you want your payment to be? And taking the time, send me 2, 3, 4, 5 different homes. You don't even need to see those homes. Send me homes from Zillow, and I'll pull those taxes specific. I'll look at those taxes specific. I'll look at the CDD. I'll see if there's any HOAs. I'll see if somebody's owned that home for 10 years and homesteaded, and I'll reevaluate those taxes of what their future taxes are going to be, therefore the future payment. Because the worst thing you can do, and new home buyers are notorious of this, they're closing on vacant land with a CDD. They don't tell the client that their payments are going to go up. I have so many refis from clients that, oh my gosh, my payment went up so much because they closed on vacant land. So just something as simple as that is so incredibly important. And the other aspect, I know, and Craig said I have to limit it to 1 to 3 minutes. So, and everyone that knows me, I'm a talker. So is, with my clients, your clients, is, the basics of our industry: know you, like you, trust you. And my clients, which are your clients, if I'm doing, you as a realtor's, your client's loan, it's not just a transaction. It's absolutely not just about rate. I very, 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 very rarely get rate shopped. And I very, 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 and I'm talking probably less than 3% lose a client over rate. And that's because I get to know them, they get to know me. I get to like them, they get to like me. And the ultimate is that they trust me. And that's the biggest said. And when they trust me, they trust you. And that is just so invaluably important, at least the way I run my business.
Cool. Which talks about what I was talking about, right? You can't be expected to know it all. Did you know that new home buyers are paying taxes only on vacant land? We have a brand new agent in the room. She doesn't know that, right? But somebody on your team should know that, right? And if the loan officer is not planning for those taxes, what's going to happen at the end of the year? Their escrow is going to go up. This has happened to me. My escrow went up. I didn't realize I was escrowing. They were escrowing my flood insurance. So I didn't pay my hazard insurance. And then I got a notice of cancellation of my hazard insurance. I don't not have the money to pay my hazard insurance. I just thought it was being escrowed, but I was wrong. It was the escrow from my flood insurance that was being escrowed, not my regular. So I called my insurance person who's on Carol's team, and she went to her manager, and they went through my file, and they found, oh, Craig, no, yeah, you're escrowing for flood, not for hazard. You need to pay it. No problem. I paid it. I was 3 days late, but they reinstated my policy because they got involved and did it. Something I wouldn't know, and I'm a real estate broker with 50,000 transactions under my belt.
And you like to think that because they're a licensed professional that they're supposed to be very ethical and tell you the truth, but sometimes they're just getting a buyer qualified because the payment that they're going to have on that brand new construction home when they close is the payment that gets them into the loan, and they're just getting them into the loan. And next thing you know, next year, sometimes it's not until a year and a half later, depending on when they close, almost 2 years later, their payment goes up $500 to $1,200 a month, and they can't afford that. And now we put them in a worse situation, all because one lender just wanted to get a loan. So that's why it's the importance of a team, the importance of a good loan officer, a good title company, a good agent altogether, a good insurance company. I mean, you guys, it's imperative that you partner with the right people.
Yep.
It also said that, when it comes to writing the contract, and, as Craig mentioned, I used to be in Century 21 Beggins' office for 13 years. And so many of you, knocked on my door. Can you help me structure this contract? How's the buyer? Do they need closing costs? How do I write this? And I'm always there to, as Megan said, call me, whether, it's a transaction that I'm doing with you, a loan that I'm doing with you, or just a question that you have on, another buyer. Give me a call. I'm happy to help. And I'm here. And, and also, I'm just going back to, how many of you know that if you have a tax, not just new sales, but somebody owns a house for 10 years and they're homesteaded, their taxes can only be raised 3%. Most of you probably know that. But on a loan aspect, I only need to qualify them on the current tax bill, which, as we know, we pay taxes in arrears in the state of Florida. So I can qualify them based on the current tax bill that's homesteaded for 10 years. But I'm going to tell them that your payment's going up next year. So be prepared that you're not going to have enough money in your escrow account. Taking that time to explain that to them, because let's say that, I get them approved at a 49% debt to income ratio based on that current tax amount. Well, now their taxes are going to go up. Maybe their comfort zone isn't where it needs to be when the taxes go up next year. Well, how am I going to look? How are you going to look as a realtor if we didn't explain all that to them? And you're not going to know how to explain that most likely. That's, again, my expertise of where I come in, and that's why we need a team.
Okay, you're over your 3 minutes, but I'm proud
Okay.
of you for realtor.
Realtor, yes, you train me well.
Realtor, and I said, no, it's a realtor. All right, next time. Thank you, Carol.
All right, well, thank you, everyone.
Realtor, docator, doctor, realtor. We're realtors. All right. So I mentioned this earlier. The awards in Century 21 have been a pinnacle part of our system, right? And we have a pretty robust award system. And you guys that have won awards, what does it make you want to do? Do it again. And if you haven't won an award and you see people getting awards, what does it make you want to do? Get an award. Call it what it is. It's human nature, right? And they keep raising the bar on us year after year after year because the bar goes up. So that's what happens. So these agents that we're going to recognize today have done a lot. And it's not just on volume, it's on quality of service, right? Big deal if you do a whole bunch of deals and you piss everybody off because your business is going to fail in the end. But if you do a few deals and you do a really good job, what are you going to get? Referrals in the future, right? So the standard is, Chris, you want to cover the quality service producer?
Yeah, quality service producer, 80% minimum required percentage of all transactions successfully sent a survey. Transactions closed January 1st through December 31st. 50% of those 80% that were successfully sent, minimum survey return rate. They, again, measured between January 1st and January 5th of 2026. So they have to be returned by January 5th. 90% overall award score. Weighted 40% performance, 40% satisfaction, 20% recommendation measured between January 1st and January 5th. Minimum of 8 return surveys. So quality service, you need to have at least 8 return surveys. 80% minimum required percentage of all of your transactions were sent a survey. 50% of them have been returned with a 90% score or higher.
And just so you know, when you turn in your deals to the back office, we load them to a program called Dash. And then Dash launches the survey. So you don't have to worry about doing that. Other agents, other companies have to worry about launching their own surveys. So they don't get the recognition, they don't get the survey sent, so they don't get the measurements. So our staff does that for you, right? Now I will whisper in your ear, but if you have a bad one, give us the wrong email address. It's Craig Beggins 1 at c21be.com. And it won't go to the survey.
Look, and that's not to avoid scoring. That's literally, there's some people you just can't make happy no matter what.
Right.
We've all dealt with those consumers that no matter what you did, we literally just had one. Our agents went above and beyond to service this guy, completely gave him everything he possibly could. And he was just never going to be happy. Could not make him happy because he wanted what he wanted, how he wanted it, when he wanted it. Nothing was going to make him happy unless he was in 100% control.
And he bought a 20-plus-year-old house that had a lot of issues with it.
And that doesn't happen. You're never in 100% control, but the agents did everything they could. So give us a different email address because we know people like that are going to give you a bad score no matter what you did and how awesome you did.
But make sure you're doing at least 8 transactions. It doesn't count anyway. So we'll show you those winners. But before we move on to that, the next level up is called the Pinnacle Quality Service.
Yep.
And that's in addition to the quality service criteria above. It's 95% minimum overall award score for 2 consecutive years, right? So that's a big, big honor. And you must have achieved Quality Service Award or a Quality Service Pinnacle Award in 2024 for eligibility for the Quality Service Pinnacle Award in 2025. So that's just another step up. They keep raising the bar on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have team awards too. If you're a team, there's team quality service award standards too. We don't have a lot of teams, but actually we do. What's her name right now? Look, I'm doing in a second. But our quality service award winners, you do those Pinnacle.
Sure. So our quality service producer award winners, Denise Brindle, Victor Cadiente, Julie Wood, Maritza Ortiz, Celeste Chrisman, Jennifer Bell, Kelly Foreman, Sandy Tams, Janine Miller, Sarah Myers, Julie Fernandez, Angie Richardson, and Susie Witzigman. All of them had a 80% minimum of all their transactions were sent a survey. 50% of them returned the surveys, and they scored a 90% score on all of their surveys that were sent back. So congratulations. That's an amazing achievement.
So simple statement, but how do you get a survey returned? You remind them and ask them for it and tell them it's important. What does a car dealership do? Hey, Joe, when you're done with this experience today, you're going to get a survey. Anything less than a 5 hurts me. Can you please take the time to fill out the survey? It's about that simple to do. And that's how you get these. That's what these agents are doing to get these surveys returned.
Yep.
Now, our Pinnacle Award winners are the ones that have had 95% survey responses for 2 years in a row. And that would be Jesse Griffin from Longboat Key, Miguel from Miami, Levada from the Pensacola area, Amy from Brandon. Amy is a part-time agent now. She's part-time Florida, part-time Virginia. And she's still producing quality service Pinnacle. Amber Stoddard, The Beaches, Terry Cash, Christina Romero, Michelle Camp, sorry, Kalani Heyman, Min Tran, Jackie Stone, Laura Meza, Robin Bennett, Lauren Fleischman, Diane Krikorian, Andrea DiFilippo, Darlene Langley, and that's the team, the Lux Legacy Group, Sarah and Chris over in Indian Rocks Beach. Pinnacle quality service, right? Does that motivate anybody to want to maybe get some surveys returned? Do at least 8 transactions? Because you get a trophy and everything.
Also, for some reason, Susie Brush wasn't on the quality service producer list here, but she's also a quality
That's true.
service
We
producer.
had that fixed. We just
Yep,
took
got
them.
it. We got it fixed. What's the president's producer?
That is news to me. I don't know.
What's that? Yep, which
Oh.
we'll get to and let you know. But if you notice, it says president's producer here. Those are people with high levels of production and high levels of customer service multiple years in a row.
Which is the ultimate.
Yep.
So
Now,
there's your,
the next set are the awards based on your criteria, on number of deals and production, your gross commissions.
that was for last year, because we're talking about 2025 numbers now. What is it this year? 161. So 140 last year, 161. Why would they raise the limit for Masters Award level? Because they're expecting house prices and commissions to go up. Is that a good thing? It's hard, but it's true. When we started, you know what Centurion was? 150,000 in gross commission was Centurion. Yep.
What are they expecting? What type of increase are they expecting in units across the board approximately? What is the NAR said? They're expecting about a 15% increase, correct?
Yep, about that number.
140,000, guess what 15% increase is from 140,000? $21,000, 15%. So now the new number is 161. They're just going based off of what the expected production number is put out by NAR and all the other statistics. They just say, we expect a 15% increase in production across the board. So we're going to raise all of our awards levels 15% because that is the new standard.
Can't go backwards. Okay, so Masters Ruby, we saw last year was $140,000, right? You can kind of do the math. That's 6-figure income take home, unless you're spending a lot of money on crazy things, which we typically don't recommend, right? So our Masters Ruby winners are Amber Mills, Sarah Myers, Diane Krikorian, John Evans. John got a really nice compliment yesterday too, by the way. Tenley Kramer, Julie Fernandez, very impressive. Julie's a full-time school teacher. And she's banging out business. It's crazy. I ran into her at Waterside the other night. Angie Richardson, new agent to the company, master's degree. Adam Benini, full-time builder, contractor, and realtor, cranking out that level of business. Michael Reichenbach, truly a consummate professional. Matt Gauster, Susie Wood-Sigmund, Lisa Kirkpatrick, Melissa Ryan, Jennifer Birdsong, Darlene Langley, again, Andrea DiFilippo, Mike Johnson up in the Panhandle, and Sarah Shinneberry. Where do you see a lot of these names? On the hot sheet. Isn't it cool? That's my favorite time, 11 o'clock every day. I love it.
The next level, it goes to Masters Emerald, which is $183,000 in gross commission or 39 units. And our Emerald Award winners were Jackie Stone, Kim Hotchkins, Laura Meza, Russell Miller, Michael Moriarty, Janine Miller, Eugenio Rodriguez, Lauren Fleischman, Mr. Dick Wilson, Sandy Tams, and Robin Bennett.
That's getting up there, $183,000, right? I remember 71% of agents did not have a closing. So these guys are taking the lion's share of the business. The next level of that is Masters Diamond, which is 225. Now you're talking about serious income. I mean, doctors don't make that much money. Many doctors don't make that much money. And our Masters Diamonds are Kalani Heyman and Min Tran. Min gets some amazing reviews too. Right on time. You couldn't have done that any better. Yay. So Masters Diamond is a big deal. And that's called the path to Centurion, right? So you start here, then the goal is to get to here to here. the path to the next level centurions. So call it centurions.
Yeah, our Centurion producers, the gross commission number of $272,000 or 60 units in 2025. And our Centurion producers are Miguel Salvat, Leveda McIntyre, Adam Kuchmeyer, Heidi Seddon, Amy Camasso, Amber Stodart, Bob Dean, Kevin Friel, Jessica Houston, Devin Weiser, and Cody Calvo. So congratulations to all of our Centurion producers.
There is a typo. Adam is actually a double centurion, which will be the next slide. I don't think Sammy caught that. We should move that on
Yeah.
to the next one.
Yep.
So I just want to make sure we call that one out.
Yeah, and double Centurion, our double Centurion producer, 544,000 in gross commissions or 120 units. Double Centurion was Jesse Griffin, Andy Simmons, and Adam Kuchmeyer.
$544,000, and you can reach out and touch them. They don't melt or anything. They're just normal people. They put the pants on one leg at a time. What are they doing different? What are they doing different? Notice they're all in quality service levels too. Pretty impressive.
And we had a Grand Centurion level team, the top ranked team. So Grand Centurion was $1.134 million in gross commission production. So congratulations to all of our award winners. Give yourself a hand, pat yourself on the back.
I think that's just super impressive. And I hope it motivates those of you who don't have awards to want to get an award. Because I'll never forget. It was Angelique and I, we were in the audience of the thing. And Tom Mills was the biggest broker in Florida by far. And Tom would win Centurion and Centurion, Centurion. And we had never had a Centurion before. And then they came out with the President's Award, which is Centurion plus quality service. And we set a goal to get it. That's what happened. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Awards matter.
In addition to all of our top ranked award winners, we also have the top 100 in the state of Florida. So we have 18 agents in the top 100 in the state of Florida that work with our company. So basically 20%, one out of every five of our agents was in the top 100.
And I checked with Jody, there are 2,400 agents in Florida, Central Toronto. So to be in the top 100 to 2,400 is a big deal.
Yep.
And for us to have 20% of the top agents, that's pretty impressive.
Yep. So it from the 96th rank, Lauren Fleischman, 88, Michael Moriarty, Eugenio Rodriguez, 86, Min Tran, number 76, Kalani Heyman, number 64, Amy Camasso, number 52, Bob Dean, 47, Amber Stodart, 46, Heidi Seddon, 45, Miguel Salvat, 42, Kevin Friel, number 37, Cody Calvo, number 28, Jessica Beggins-Houston, number 28, Devin Weiser, number 18, Leveda Burrows, number 16, Jesse Griffin, number 13, Adam Kuchmeyer, number 11, and Andy Simmons ranked number 9 in the state, all in the top 100 out of over 2,000 agents.
Pretty impressive.
And just don't think that you're just getting a mention on our meeting. We're talking in the works to try to figure out a really cool thing to do for our award winners. So please be on the lookout.
Well, a lot of these people are going to convention too.
Be on the lookout. So we have we're talking and we're working on some things.
So I want to tell you, I get copied on every one of these quality service surveys. And I pulled out the Pinnacle Quality Service winners just last night. I picked a couple real quick. But I read these to you because this is the customer saying what they appreciate. So if you know what the customer appreciates, you can deliver what they want, right? So Amy Camasso, a customer, I highly recommend Amy for anyone seeking a dedicated and knowledgeable real estate professional. She excelled in conducting property showings, highlighting key features, and addressing all questions with expertise. Additionally, she efficiently sourced competitive quotes from multiple insurance agents, inspection and AC providers, which greatly streamlined the process. Throughout every stage, from initial inquiries to closing, she provided consistent support and guidance, ensuring a smooth experience. Her professionalism made all the difference. So is there a hint in there of what customers want? You're the quarterback, right? You're playing the game. You're controlling the game, and who you work with makes a big difference in how you get that response. You want to talk about Chris and Sarah?
Yeah, Chris and Sarah were amazing to work with, made the buying process, even from 900 miles away, seamless.
I would describe them.
I would describe them as the best agents we ever have worked with. Their attention to detail and communications were great.
They type like me. I would describe them as the best agents I've ever worked with. How cool is that? Jesse Griffin. This is interesting. Jesse's specific knowledge and expertise in our specific demographic, which is Longboat Key, if you know Jesse, was unsurpassed. He knew the competition down to the specific properties on the specific streets. This knowledge was critical in determining where the market was going in an unprecedented time. Waterfront sales after the most historic flood event in the history of Florida. This combined with professionalism, unsurpassed communication and accessibility, and an uncanny sixth sense of the correct strategic moves to make made Jesse critical in selling our home during this under challenging time. I'm convinced we would not have sold our house by now without Jesse as our broker. All right. And I'm proud of Jesse because he really does. He drills in and he knows his specific areas. But that's what the customers want. They want that dedication. They want that knowledge. So I just wanted to share that as part of what we do. And to that end, we got 120 up coming up. My gosh, it's like a month away now.
Yep.
And I
So-
think we have 34 people going. That's going to be a good time and a lot to learn. All right. So we talk about what sellers want last week on Monday. So if you missed any of these classes, Angelique sends them out as in case you missed it. So if you missed the class, don't feel bad, but just know they're there for the taking. We got some new ways to go find them. So Tuesday, I was with the broker briefing. Listings, Chris did a great class on listings are the name of the game, how we got to get listings more than anything else. Buyers come as a result. Jimmy and Mike did a great job on Beggars University promoting that. I don't think you guys understand. I was on the phone with the corporate yesterday, and we've got, there's 11 offices signed up now. What? We have 30 offices. 30 offices now have signed up to buy from us, Beggars University. So if we call it Empower AI, they're paying monthly to get that service, right? And Jimmy's onboarding and training, and you guys take advantage of it because other people are paying for it. And then contract mastery, that's my favorite thing. We're done with the contract now. I've done over the last 5 weeks, every single paragraph of the contract. So now we'll jump into addendums about listing contracts. But why don't you just be so articulate, can just reverberate the contract in plain English so that people understand it. Good.
Good for any of our newer hires in the last 90 days and for anyone who wants refreshers to show up every Friday as part of our 90-day onboarding for all of our agents. We're going to be doing a class from 10 to 12. It's going to be basically a 90-day rolling type class every Friday. It's going to be a different perspective, a different training thing. It's going to be added to the company calendar, so you'll be able to see it on your calendar if you add the company calendar to your calendar. Right now, the next 4 are set. We'll have the next 4 set after that within the next week, and then the next 4 after that, so that we have a 3-month calendar going for ongoing training for all of our newer agents and anyone looking to re-engage. The next 4 classes will be business planning and goal setting, people and communications, the listing process and the buyer process. Those dates are already set. They're already on your calendar. So please be aware. It'll be a live class in the Apollo Beach training room and on Zoom, and it'll be on my Zoom training link. It'll be sent out before as the class starts as well.
How do you find the company calendar? What's the email address?
Info.
Not Google. info@c21be.com. So you go to your calendar section of your Google Calendar and add info@c21be.com. It'll put the company calendar. You can change the color of the events. So my company events show up as yellow on my calendar. My events show up as green on my calendar. So I just know what's what, right? And you can add anybody else's calendar. I know Jimmy and Chris share calendars too. So Jimmy can see what Chris is doing. Chris can see what Jimmy's doing. You have that ability to share. So we have so many tools that we really don't take advantage of. But you should at least have the company calendar and your personal calendar on your Gmail.
Yeah, quick housekeeping, license renewals by the end. It's either end of September or end of March. So just go take a look and make sure you get it done. Do your continuing education and make sure you go to the DBPR, myfloridalicense.com, and pay the renewal fee.
Please. All right, James.
Just a Zillow showcase update for those of you who don't know. Obviously, the price is down to $150, and we do have a new contact. So please take a snapshot if you're on your phone. If you're in the room, please do that. Matt is our new Zillow success manager, and he's absolutely
Actually, Matt was our
amazing.
new Zillow success manager.
Yeah.
Now we have a new one.
It's not Matt anymore. Okay, so don't screenshot this. The only thing I will tell you on Zillow Showcase, please, if you're having hiccups with it, please call the number or email the Zillow Showcase support. They are probably the fastest at getting something set up for you. So, and obviously this week's Zillow Showcase of the week, actually there's new numbers. This is as of the end of last week. So you can see here, Amber Stodart.
How could you argue with 1,154% increase?
It's even higher now. Go to the next page. So if you look at the reports, again, I'm showing this every week too, just so you can see what is available for you as an agent to be able to have that conversation with your seller and provide more feedback and information on. Remember, feedback's an issue right now. Probably not going to get a lot of it, so you can at least get data. And you can see here, she's up to 4,300 or 5,300 views. It's like 1,192% higher than what she is. You can see the emails that the engagement.
There's
so the
nobody
emails
that
they're
sends
sending
out 52 emails and 51 get opened.
Right.
That doesn't happen.
They do on Zillow because they keep following up.
Because
and
Zillow
sending
says,
you
oh,
people.
Angie was looking at a house at
Yep.
this price range in this neighborhood. Maybe we'll send this to her specifically, just this one house. So she opens it. That's obscene.
So
Not
again, we
obscene.
have like 60% of our listings are on Showcase. So hopefully you're using these reports to provide to your seller. So this is just one other tool that you can use when you're doing weekly updates so they can see kind of what's going on. A new update also on Zillow Showcase, if you have not already seen, is there is a section that says activity now on the on your on the Showcase and Media. So you can see when you ordered it, when your photographers accepted it, you can see all of your showings because this is tied to showing time also. So you're able to actually see all of those things to kind of see what's going on. But as always, please always pay attention when your property goes live on Zillow, Zillow Showcase, not just those, MLS, everywhere that your client, your seller's going to be looking, anywhere that clients and potential buyers are going to be look. We just want to ensure that the description's correct, the photos are correct, that it's live correctly and stuff, so we can address it as soon as possible if it's not. So just if you're not doing that, put that on your to-do list when you get a new listing to validate when it goes live that it's hitting all of those sites.
You'd be surprised how many people come to us 30 days into a listing and say, my showcase isn't right.
You should have found that out
Or
30 days ago.
my showcase isn't showing up. And it's been 30
even
days
just
on
general,
market.
just it's not showing up on Zillow correctly, or
Yeah.
like, oh, I did the public remarks were wrong and it's been 2 months. Like we need to just make sure we're on top of that.
These are third-party companies that we don't have any control over, but we can make a
Yes.
touch point and point you in the right direction to get them to update it correctly.
And at the end of this month, so kind of shifting gears a little bit. So Moxie presents specifically our old C21 Beggins pre-listing presentation. I hate to say it, some of you are still using that one for the marketing standpoint, your preview. Please discontinue using that because on April 1st, I am getting rid of it, which means if you have that out and about, your clients will no longer have that link will not work anymore. Okay. Plus, you want to use the one that says 2026 Beggins marketing presentation. That's the one you want to use. That has the updated graphics, updated numbers. Everything looks fantastic. They both look good, but we definitely updated to the new one. So please do not use that Beggins pre-listing presentation.
Hey, I want to comment real quick because Jimmy, I sent out a Moxie.
Craig sends out a update on his hammock.
I sent
Day
out a
all the
Moxie
same.
e-blast the other day, and it went to 76 people. 40 of them opened it, and 13 of them clicked through it. And I had to make a report to my seller on Friday because it comes up every week. I have to make a report to my seller. So I went to the 13 people that clicked, and guess what it did? Gave me their name and their telephone number. So guess what I did? Called every one of them, and guess what they didn't do? Answer the phone. So what did I do? I left a voicemail, number one, and I sent them a text. And I've talked to 4 people that have engaged in that click since then, and they're back on the prospect list. Right? So I finally had something to put on my list that I did to report to my seller. Hint, you guys send Moxie e-blast out and it tracks everything for you. That's a badass tool.
Now, just on that talking point too, if you guys are using Moxie Rise, there is an automated just listed campaign that will
Yes.
automatically go out
To your whole
to your
database.
entire database without you having to do anything. You just have to set it up. Again, imagine providing that information to a seller when you talk about some of the things that you're doing. And this is all automated for you. So if you have 2,000 people in your database, you're sending out a listing to 2,000 people to let them know. And they may know someone, they may not know someone, but the idea is to stay visible and you have something that you're able to provide with them.
Yep.
All right. So sliding into Beggins University. So the update of the week, there's really not, I mean, we have made a couple tweaks. I'm not really going to hit those right now, but what I wanted to talk about are 2 specific tools. Now, don't go to the next slide yet, Chris, if you don't want, not yet. So the 2 tools I want to talk about are the My Market AI and the Quick CMA. So online or in the room, someone tell me why I would want to how I could use a quick CMA. And by the way, this pulls MLS data, and in probably 3 seconds max, you have a value. Okay. And it also pulls from mortgage companies, and you get an AVM. Okay. And you get a confidence score of how confident they are in the value that has actually been provided. So throw it online. I know you guys are still listening. Throw it online. What could I do with a quick CMA?
I know.
Can I use it? What's that?
Not waste my time.
Not waste your time. Okay. So efficiency. Okay. What else? Someone in the room. What can we use a quick CMA for? Okay. So high D personality. Okay. Cool. We'll do it real quick. Okay. So we're working a networking event, a market, and we're going to have this up so she can give values instantly while she's out there. That's
And
pretty
not
awesome.
waste time.
By the
Takes
way,
a long time to do a real market analysis.
you guys do understand, and ladies, I don't mean to say guys, sorry.
Y'all.
Y'all, this is a mobile optimized
That's
site. Okay. So you can use this on your phone anywhere. So did anyone put anything online?
yeah. Start conversations, hook in sellers, show the best position of home in the listings market right now.
Okay.
Got it. Get
Start a
interest from an
conversation.
expired listing.
Okay, I love it. So you can go to the next page if you want. I'm going to actually tie this in a little bit differently. So some ways that you can use the quick CMA: prospecting. Okay, start a conversation. How would you like an equity review? How would you like to see? Let me give you a quick equity review. Again, this is all about starting conversations. Please do not use this tool if you're going on a pricing presentation and you're going to position the property correctly. This is a great tool for a snapshot to see closer to the area for that property, what's going on. Responding quickly to online leads. Someone says, I want to know what my value is. I'm interested in selling. Boom. Okay, remember, these take seconds to do. Setting listing appointments, using this to help kind of identify what that looks like, educating sellers before listing to get an idea, supporting price conversations. This is one of the things I wanted to hit on. As you're going through, you have a listing right now and you're doing weekly updates. This could be a tool that you can look at very quickly without having on the go in car line, waiting for your coffee to kind of see if some of those have adjusted. I do so many of these on my own property. I've seen it. I mean, it significantly adjust week by week, and we know it does. So this is just an idea. You can look at that. Justifying price adjustments. Okay. Because it does give you a market analysis too. Farming a neighborhood. I don't want to do any CMAs. Hey, what if I told you it takes 5 minutes to do probably 20 of these if you're farming, and then you print it up and drop them off while you're farming? I don't know. All right. Re-engaging old leads, old people, old listings, old listing leads that are in there. And something I don't think that I put in there. How about this? Anybody ever have a buyer that says, hey, do you think this, and you're out the house and they're like, hey, do you think this price is good? We always say, you know what, let me go back, let me dig into the numbers and I'll show you what it looks like. What if I can just email that directly from my phone while I'm sitting in the kitchen table talking about the property we just looked at and be like, hey, I will get you a more in-depth view, but this is kind of what's happening.
Here's a snapshot. It's really all it is. You still have to dive in to the age of the home, the condition of the roof, status of the water heater, condition of air conditioners, all that stuff still matters. And the AI is not going to know that.
So next up is the My Market AI. So the My Market AI is going to be a broader tool that's going to give you an AI analysis of what's going on in the area. Is it important? I know we're in Apollo Beach right now. Is it important in Mirror Bay to understand what holistically is going on in Apollo Beach?
Yep.
Right now, it may not affect specifically the pricing because it's very hyper local in that community, but isn't it important to understand what is going on? And that's what this tool is going to do. It does a housing analysis or a rental analysis and gives you an AI breakdown. And how you could use this, obviously, is, well, one, if you don't know what to say, if you're a newer agent, you want to know what's going on in the market. Okay. If you want to educate sellers of what's happening holistically in the entire market of that area.
Same kind of like when you put that together, starting conversations and educating sellers, like My Market analysis tells you all these little details about the market. So you can say, hey, did you know and
Yes.
take one of those highlights that it says is going on in the market.
No,
That's your
Walmart opened up on
conversation.
January 14th.
That's your conversation for that week is, did you know this? Then next week, did you know this? Then next week, did you know this? You can literally create tons of conversations with people in your market just from using some of these tools.
Right. So just a couple of things. So on a buyer standpoint, helping buyers understand kind of what's happening holistically, in the market. And then I think also when we're looking at a listing strategy and we're looking at giving some of that feedback, being able to pull that up and see what's happening week over week, if it's days on market, if it's average price, if it's what's happening just in general in that area. But again, this is a little broader of a tool, but it still gives you some of those talking points. And on top of that, which is not in here, imagine if you're prospecting and you don't know what's going on in the market and you start texting buyers and they're like, well, what's happening in the market? Oh, well, everybody has their own thing. It's hot. Oh, it's not. It just depends on kind of if you're busy or not, right? Why not use a tool and say, well, holistically in all of Apollo Beach, this is kind of what's happening. We need to really identify and let me sit down and have that consultation so we can truly identify what's right for you. And then we can kind of dig into what that looks like. And then, by the way, I could use another tool that will just pull up those properties for me by talking to it. So those are the two tools I wanted to talk about today and how you can integrate them in any part of your business. If it's prospecting, if it's working with a buyer, if it's working with a seller, and they take seconds to do. Okay. And that was the whole idea around this. So boom.
Well, congratulations to all of our award winners. You should be very proud of yourselves. We're very proud of you. It's a big accomplishment to meet those metrics, and pressure's not off. So you got to keep it on yourself. Not us putting it on it. It's you putting it on yourselves. Right. So we know the limit's 161,000 or 33 transactions next year to get into the path of Centurion. Those who've already made it to your level. Kalani, what's your next level? Centurion. There you go. Master's Diamond to Centurion. It's the path. There we go. All right. Individual office meetings. Thank you for your time.